We cannot allow scenes like I saw in New York 2 days ago, where policemen are being beat up by gangs of illegal immigrants, in that case from Venezuela, Honduras. We can't allow that. And these are kids that are fighters. They were not, babies. They were knocking the hell out of our policemen. We can't let this happen. These are tough people. So the heads of these countries are smart. They're not sending the people that are doing a great job and that they love in the country. They're sending people, for the most part, that they don't want. And they're putting them into caravans. I know that because they tried it with me, but I turned back the caravans. Look, I had the safest border in the history of our country. I built 561 miles of wall, and that was good. But I also got Mexico to give us 28,000 soldiers free of charge. Now, I told them that we were not going to be happy if you don't do it. We're going to put tariffs on your cars and everything else that you sell us, which is a lot, if you don't do it. And they did it. They gave us 28,000 soldiers, and we had the best border we ever had. To this day, I had the best border we've ever had. Now we have the worst border probably in the history of the world.
Yes, there is something you didn't see. A reporter confronted Alvin Bragg. According to this article, after migrant accused in the assault on NYPD officers in Times Square were released without bail, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg faced more criticism Friday over how the case was handled. It comes as police continue searching for more suspects in the Times Square assault.
Hey, what's up, America? So you remember the other day when 7 undocumented individuals beat up 2 New York City police officers and they were arrested and then released the same day without bail? Well, 2 new things about that. One, Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan DA, is now saying that he's defending that because racism might have come into play. That's even possible, but whatever. But that's a slap in the face to law enforcement just in and of itself. But what's even worse? But you want to know what's even worse than that? 4 of these individuals have fled to California on a bus. But guess what kind of bus took them to California? Why, it was a church-affiliated migrant charity. Isn't that wonderful? So these individuals beat up 2 police officers in broad daylight in Times Square, are released without bail, and then flee to California, right, on a migrant church-affiliated charity.
This has pierced up a lot of people. Like, what is going on? There is a statement he released. Let me read this out so you can understand exactly what is happening. In Manhattan, we don't tolerate or accept assault on police officers. I watched the tape this week. Despicable behavior. It sickened me and outraged me, he said. Bragg said the reason 4 of the suspects, who officials say are migrants, were released without bail is because of evidence his office had then. Why the video is shocking and disturbing. In order to secure convictions in a court of law, it is essential that we conclusively identify each defendant, he said.
Brownsville, Brooklyn, I know this like, what the have I gotten myself into? Stay with me. On the same day that that happens, cadaver Joe Biden issues an executive order about 4 quote-unquote settlers in Judea, Samaria, aka the West Bank. Some troublemakers, 3 of the 4 have already been arrested. You issue an executive order about 4 troublemaking ups who've already been arrested in Judea, Samaria, while there's a war going on, while there's 100+ hostages still being held in Gaza. You're talking about that, but you got nothing to say about beating up cops in New York City, the greatest city on earth. This is why when I say voting for pig Donald Trump is on the table, voting for pig Donald Trump is on the table.
Yes, I have seen it. A lot of black people are standing up like, we can't continue like this. This same New York, I think I put out a video about this. Rapper 50 Cent says maybe Trump is the answers after saying New York City give free paid credit card to migrants. We are tired. The only thing left for 50 Cent to say, make America great again. And I believe he should do that. Some are scared, like...
Part 2 of the acting. Yeah. Is Joe Biden saying, you know what, if you just give me a new law, why doesn't the president can fix this? He already has the existing laws.
And Border Patrol will tell you that right
silly.
to your face.
I need a piece of paper from Congress to deal with the border. No, you already have that.
That's right. That's right.
So he has.
Yes, in as much as this is going on, Texas took up a decision to build their border. They dropped this video recently on Twitter. Let me play this so you can see exactly what is going on. But before I do, please share this video, and if you have not subscribed, please endeavor to do that.
This video was shared by Governor Greg Abbott in Texas, and you can see they are in fact constructing their own border wall. I'm not sure exactly what sector this is in, but you can see they very much are working on it. The governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, has been at odds with the Biden administration over securing their border in Texas. The National Guard did take over major parts of the border in Texas and have not allowed Border Patrol in. And for instance, in the Del Rio sector alone, they were having about a month ago up to about 3,000 to 4,000 people just in that one sector entering the country illegally. Since Texas National Guard took over that area, now the number is down to about 200 per day. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that less people are entering our country as a whole. They're just going elsewhere. So you now have more people that are entering through California and through Arizona. So right now about 72% of the people that are entering our country are coming through California or Arizona now, not necessarily through Texas, because they took over their border, which is pretty good. But it just also goes to show how quickly things can change if you just take over certain areas.
I think I put out a video yesterday where this CNN guest went up like, what is happening? You put your hands on a corpse. At the end of the day, you have been released without bail. You just go freely.
Crazy things I've seen on TikTok today. New York City is planning on giving $53 million to migrants on debit cards. A family of 4 will receive up to $1,000 and it will be replenished every 28 days. The program makes them promise that they will only use the prepaid debit cards for supplies like food and baby items, and they'll have to sign an affidavit saying that they'll do that. 50 Cent actually took to Instagram about this and said that he does not understand why they would be doing this. He told Mayor Adams to call his phone and that maybe Trump is the answer. A dog was rescued from a shipping container in Texas, and they're thinking that this dog was there for at least 8 days with no food and no water. This is her. They renamed her Connie the Container Dog, and she's actually fine, which is amazing. A 13-year-old boy is accused of shooting a man on a bus. He was blocking the aisle with his leg, and there was some kind of altercation, and the boy literally shot him.